What's up, Bodyweight Warriors? Welcome back to the fifth and final episode of this Big 5 flexibility series. Today is going to be focused on the bridge. This is a beginner routine that's going to help start opening up the shoulders and the thoracic to work on your bridge position based off the strengthen and lengthen principles you can find out more about in this video right here. You are going to need some equipment for today's routine. Primarily, you're going to want a foam roller, some yoga blocks, and you're going to want something to anchor the hands in the form of a barbell, some dumbbells, or the edge of a sofa. Other than that, just some time and space, and let's jump into this routine. Right, we're going to start things off with a short warm-up before we get into the couple of sets of the strength and the lengthen. We're going to start with a Lewitt technique, and this is a cervical spine mobilizer. It's going to get some movement in the shoulder blades, hands out to the sides. We're going to take a deep inhale and we're going to twist to one arm, lifting it up, palms up, and with the other arm, we're going to turn the hand down, palms down. So we're having this like twisting action going. As we exhale, as we change breath, we're going to reverse it to the other side. And the same thing, palms up and then palms down. We're going to do this for about 6 or 7 deep breaths. And all the time, you're going to really try to maximally twist the hands as much as you can. You're also going to reach outwards as much as you can. Try to do this like keeping the shoulders down and away from the ears and just feeling the rotation itself in the shoulder. A couple more here. Perfect, we're going to shift onto the floor now. And we're going to come down into a completely prone position with our hands underneath our shoulders. We're going to do some Mackenzie push-ups here. So what you're going to think about doing is you're going to exhale as you push yourself up, looking up, and you're going to go as straight as you can, keeping your hips in contact with the ground. So if you straighten your hands and your hips lift off, that's too much. We're just going to keep it so that the lower back is relaxed and the hips remain in contact. We're going to do 5 of these in total. And again, you're going to think about blowing yourself up. So you're going to exhale on the way up. So just moving a little bit more into extension of the back. Nice, slow and controlled. So one more here. Beautiful. Hello. We're going to come down onto a lying position on our side now, and we're going to perform a sleeper stretch. This is a mobilization for the posterior shoulder capsule. So on the side, kind of like you're about to go to sleep. Arms going to be going out from the shoulder at 90, hands bent to 90. We're going to start with the right hand side, and we're just going to push the hand down, making sure that we're not rolling off the shoulder's not coming up, and we're feeling that stretch in this posterior shoulder capsule here. So we're just going to apply some light force with the hand. We're not going to really do anything for this one, we're just going to hold it. Now this seems counterintuitive because you need external rotation for the bridge, but if you don't have this ability, it's going to restrict your shoulder's ability to rotate in the socket, and that's what's not going to let us get into a full overhead bridge position. So if you want to work on bridge, you kind of want this to be down towards the ground. If you cannot get it down that far, then it's worth working on. So in 30 seconds now, we're going to do 15 more seconds, and we're going to repeat this same effort on the other side as well. So a few more seconds here. And we can let go. Just move it a little bit back and forth off that static position. I'm going to swap around here, but you can just roll over, and we'll form that same stretch now on the left-hand side. So again, making sure you're sat on top of the shoulder, elbow comes out to 90, bent to 90, and then we're just going to apply that light pressure. And you'll see here that my left is significantly worse than the right. It's actually the shoulder that I had an injury on, the labor and tear. Part of the reason that this video is about 7 months later than it should have been. It's perfectly fine though to have those imbalances between sides. There are usually reasons for it. If it's dramatically different, then it is worth working on. Slight variations are relatively normal. So keep holding here. We're going to have another 10 seconds. Again, over this 45 seconds, we should be feeling that we can go deeper into the stretch. Perfect. And again, we can shake that one off. So the final mobilization we're going to do here is we're going to stretch out the pecs and open up the chest a bit further. To do that, we're going to take the hand and we're going to go at roughly a 45-degree angle in front of us and really stretch the hand out. The other hand's going to support. And I'm just going to try and press my chest down into the ground. I want to note here is I want to feel the external rotation. So I want to feel that my elbow pit is not just facing down at the ground. I'm going to twist into it and really get a good stretch over the pec. We can perform just a nice couple of reps of PNF. So I'm going to press my hand down into the ground. I'm going to hold for 5 seconds. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then exhale and try and get that shoulder closer down towards the ground. Five more seconds here. 3, 2, 1. Same thing. So around 45 degrees, you can play with the angle slightly. It's going to change the stretch. We're going to try and support ourselves with the other hand. Just drop that shoulder down. Exhaling, rotating. Feeling a good stretch over the pec. And again, we're going to hold. We can perform that PNF. So you can press down for 5 seconds. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale, I'm going to try and go further into that stretch. I'm just going to hold here, another 5 seconds or so. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to perform our first effort of strengthen, then lengthen. So with the bridge, we want to make sure that we've got strong enough traps to lift our shoulders overhead. So this is where you're going to want that anchoring. This is where a sofa edge, for example, here would be great. I've got a couple of dumbbells to make sure it's an object that I can't lift any higher. What I'm going to do is at around shoulder width, I'm going to have my hands locked overhead. So we're going to make the effort of trying to lift up. These aren't going to go anywhere, but we're going to feel the contraction in the traps. We're going to do 3 efforts of 10 seconds as hard as we can. So whenever you're ready, make sure you've got that immovable object, and then we're going to perform that lifting effort. So lift, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It may not look like a lot is necessarily happening, but the intent is the important thing. So really try to squeeze the object or squeeze the fist and try to lift into that immovable force. Let's go again. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we'll do one more 1 here. So when you're ever ready, 10 seconds, last effort. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, beautiful. We're going to need to stay in a roughly similar position, and this is where you're going to want those yoga blocks or a foam roller, and this is going to basically now act as our fulcrum. So we're going to hinge over this and really work on opening up the thoracic. So we still need that anchor. We're going to place this fulcrum now, and we're going to want to have it right around the shoulder blades. But really, you're just going to try and have it wherever is going to be the weak point for you. And now, because we can anchor the hands, we can then use this to hinge over that point of the spine. So we're getting a good stretch and extending through our thoracic. So we're not necessarily doing the bridge, but we're working on the key components that are going to make up the bridge. So once we've got our position, we've got that point in our back. Currently, because the legs are open, we've got quite a lot of extension happening in the lower spine as well. So what you're going to try and do is tuck the legs in, and that's going to shift the pressure from the lower back further up to that point in which we're actually trying to focus on increasing our flexibility. So hold yourself down on that anchor. We're just going to lift that legs up, keep the arms straight, and then focus on trying to push the chest through the shoulders. Now, it's important that we only pull up to a point in which we're able to still continue to breathe. So nice deep breaths, and that's going to help our spine open and extend further. Going to keep holding. Another 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. So we're going to take just a short 30 seconds or so of rest. The important thing now to note here is basically we're going to have the hands fixed at a certain point. Obviously, if we're in a full bridge, we're going to have this big arch going on. So the way that we can increase the intensity here is by elevating this fulcrum point. So it's going to increase the amount of extension we need. So I could turn this yoga block sideways and I could lift it further up to give me more extension. Or if I had a foam roller, I can place that on top and then keep elevating that up, keeping the hands at the same height and demanding more flexibility. If you want to take this up a notch even further, you can try to tuck the legs further and feel that the hips are actually going to lift off the ground. Because of my injury, I'm not able to do that at the moment, but that's certainly something that you can aim to work towards, and it's going to build even more strength in that end range. So we're going to repeat that whole thing one more time. We're going to start with those shoulder flexion lifts, building strength in the traps overhead, and then we're going to stretch out all of that anterior fascia and open up the front of the body as well. Right, when you're ready, we're going to do another set. So you get yourself into that same position, that immovable object, and really focus on the quality of contraction in the trap. So 3 efforts of 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, lift. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. This is definitely one of those drills. This doesn't look like much is going on, but it is as hard as the effort that you put in. Right, lift. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now get ready just to do one more here. Really trying to lift the hands up as high as possible over the top. Put 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. May as well not mess about. Let's get straight back into it. So again, if the first round was maybe a little bit too easy for you, or your shoulders feel like they're opening up, you can elevate that block height. For me, that was about perfect. Again, right between the shoulder blades, right in that thoracic region of the spine. Find your anchor. And then we're going to gradually just pull those knees in. And really focus that extension through the thoracic portion of the spine. Again, just passively holding. If you really want to, you can try and feel like you're going to lift the hips slightly and take more weight off the hips so they're not on the floor. That's a bit more of an advanced movement. Keep going. Just another 10 seconds. Make sure you're still able to breathe. Three, 2, 1. Perfect. We've done a lot of extension. We're just going to finish up with a set of a threaded reach, just to get a little bit of flexion and a little bit of rotation in there. So in that kneeling position, hands in front, we're going to reach through now with our left hand, just sink the shoulder down. And we're just going to try and chill in this position a little bit. Not looking for a massive stretch, we're just doing a little bit of the opposite. It's going to hold for about 20 seconds or so. So another 10 here. Lift that hand through. We're going to do the other side. So right hand, reach it through as far as you can. Just drop the shoulder down to the ground. Sink the hips back. Just breathe. And that is basically the routine. So that is the full 5 movements that we need for that big 5. We've got pike, front split, middle split, pancake, and finally the bridge. You can train all of these 5 skills individually, but for those of you who stuck around to the end, there might be a big flexibility routine for all of them dropping as a Christmas surprise. Other than that, if you enjoyed this one, thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on a future video, and I'll catch you next one. Have a strong week. Peace.